This year's risky, as usual. I'm always working on something. I had dismantled a old 4th of July from last year. Right now it's currently January 2011. The date is the 27th. And I had found it in a box of crap that I had there. There was a little lighting thing there. So I took the whole thing apart and, well, this is basically what it looks like. Those are the batteries I'm using now. It's just a little thing I got from Radio Shack, and that's little bits and pieces of what was originally there. There's the original board, and it basically lights up like this. Now, because it's very similar to the lights that are on my speakers, and yes, it's on both of them, even though that one's kind of covered a little bit with stuff, but eventually I'll be doing the same thing with those. But I know this upcoming 4th of July they'll most likely have these things again, so I'll make sure that this time I'll buy a few more than just the one, because this one right here is actually going to be incorporated into my stereo when I'm done with it. It's not even going to look the same. In fact, the white LEDs are going to be replaced with green. I'm keeping the blue ones and I'm keeping the red ones, but the white ones I'm replacing with green. Mostly because I like red, green, and blue. And because my speaker stereo lights are red, green, and blue, and yellow, and the lights on my surround sound, which are the bars right there that go up and down on each side, are green, and we'll soon be having the same kind of lights as those eventually. But these lights right here, I'm going to break it up so that way this one, and this one, separate from this one, and this one. 3 of them are going to go around this knob, and 3 of them are going to go around this knob. And the way I'm going to be doing that is I'll be drilling one tiny hole in the center on the top, another one down here, and another one over here. And the same thing is going to apply over here. And eventually, I'm going to run it on a secondary portion of the power supply that's built into this, so that way when I turn on the stereo, it will turn on its own as well. And this breadboard right here, which is just a little Radio Shack blank board with soldering terminals, I'm going to be taking this and basically soldering this piece onto here in such a way where I am going to be able to connect my own set of lights individually. All these wires are going to be replaced. All this stuff's going to be, well, not used. The LEDs are the only thing I'm going to be primarily using. I do have a case, not this one, but a case that's actually bigger than this and full of other wire. But I have a lot of wire that's like this. It's really small, high conductive, it's copper, multiple colors, and I'm going to be rigging it up so that way each LED's color is matching with the color of wire. This way it's for easy identification purposes, because all the LEDs themselves are in fact clear. And it also helps me keep things organized. But, long story short, I'm going to be incorporating a switch similar to this, so that way I can keep the option of having the lights either on or off, even though the system itself will still be on a constant standby for either being on or off. Yes, the batteries are not going to be used because I don't like using batteries. This is just another battery compartment. This is a 4-battery terminal. Heat shrink tubing. blank board that I stripped, except for the connectors. But that was for another project. Lots and lots of parts. And of course, you can't go anywhere without an abundance of a assortment of resistors. And in here, as you can see, I got LED arrays and LED blocks for displays and odds and ends. This was one project that I was working on here. I forget what it was, but I was doing something. I'd have to recheck my wiring, but it looks like it was one of these. Actually, it was. Yeah, it was one of these. Because it has the same 3 resistors, same capacitors, same 2 transistors. Yeah, it was one of those. But I was basically rigging this up for a display. I had rigged it up with switch networks for purposes that enable me to select the lights in which I want on and which ones I don't want on, because they run in a unique little network. Or, yeah, I guess it's a network. I don't know. I'm not really much for the terminology of things, but I got breadboards of various types and versions. Speaking of which, here's the blank version of it. So that kind of proves that for sure. But anyway, I'm basically redoing this lighting system so that way I can really put the lights in my stereo. Because I got a gnarly stereo, but eventually by the time I am done, everything is going to have lights. And lots of them. I gotta have my flashy lights. See that up there? This I can turn on with my stereo. Yay! Anyway, but yeah, well, I'm just using Second Life and Skype. Eep. Anyway, yeah, I'm just doing this stuff, and I'll eventually have those lights in my stereo in no time. I'll keep you posted on what I'm doing and the progress in which I'm having in various videos, so that way y'all can enjoy and potentially do them yourself if you ever want to. But this here's risky. I'll continue on later.